Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over a tweet I put out last week about, was it last week? I don't know. I've written so many threads lately that I can't even remember when I wrote them. But this one seemed to go off really well, and that's kind of what I'm going to do in this channel is break out or expand the ones that kind of go off and people enjoy or people find value in. So this is the principle of the rain bucket. The subtitle of that was never underestimate this one principle. And there's a quote, and I'm pretty sure I got off of like Chat GPT or something. And so I don't know where it came from. It says unknown. It says drop by drop fills the bucket. Little by little, the stream becomes a river, and a river becomes a sea, which is pretty simple. Sounds a little cliche, a little cheesy, but it's real, right? Little bit by little bit, the small things become great things, become big things by consistency. There's no force, I said, in this world more powerful, but yet underutilized than the compounding of small acts of consistent effort. He says, as the soft rain begins, the bucket doesn't appear to give up space. And that's like for us, when we begin something like Twitter or any kind of social media, we kind of begin with this idea of like, man, I'm going to go places, I'm going to do all this stuff, and I'm going to accomplish exactly what I want to accomplish, right? But when we're there normally for only a few days, we get a little discouraged, and sometimes we're there for weeks, sometimes we're there for months, and especially something like YouTube's super difficult to get like traction unless you do something like, you know, jump off a 10-story building naked, you know, with flaming torches or something. If you're doing something like this, I mean, this will probably not take off for who knows how long, but different platforms, different time horizons, but either way, everything on social media comes down to the idea of compounding consistency. Every day you got to be consistent, and it doesn't look like anything's happening at the beginning, just like a rain bucket doesn't look like it's going to do much, right? Little bits of rain, it might get a little wet in there, but it doesn't really look like it's filling up, unless you're like in the middle of a hurricane, obviously, but we're not using that. No. After an hour, you might see a little bit of an inch or so displaced, but return the next day. If it's still raining, you return the next day. Even if the rain was soft, even if it was just consistent but soft, you would probably find that bucket running over. There's no fanfare given to it. No one stops and be like, man, that bucket's filling up with water, and he's doing a great job at it. You know, nobody shows up to do that. No noticeable gains are observed by the casual passerby. It's just a rain bucket, and there's probably some water in there, but it's not full. It's not full to its potential, its capacity. But as I said, if the rain persists, the bucket has no choice but to give up its space. And that's kind of where consistency comes in. If you are consistent, your success has no choice but to come. If you're consistently bad, like you do not put in any effort to get better, then yeah, consistency in, you know, consistent crap is still crap. It's just consistent, right? So you still have to grow. You have to grow yourself, and that's part of the consistency is learning new things, doing new things, expanding your mind. But as long as you're doing that consistently, you're showing up on, say, Twitter in my case, or here on YouTube consistently, and you're growing yourself, there's no way possible, as was a Hormazi says. Is that how you say his name? I don't know. He said one time, I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a Lewis Howell video or something. He said it would be unreasonable that you would not succeed. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say here. It'd be unreasonable, like in the sense of the rain bucket, it has no choice. The rain keeps falling, it fills up. There's no way around that. So if you're consistent and you do things consistently, there's no way, as long as you are improving yourself, that you don't come out on top in the end. And I know you don't see the progress you want now, and others may laugh at your small incremental achievements that you feel like big, and some other people like, man, you might as well just forget that. You're wasting your time. But if you persist, it is impossible for life not to yield to you its benefits. And that's pretty much where we were going with that. Continue every single day in your small gains, and you will prosper. It's not possible for it not to. And even Jesus himself taught us in his in the Gospels. He said, all things are possible to him that believes, right? If you believe something, you pursue it, you persist in it, is because a belief is a conviction. It's deep rooted, and it's not easily taken away. And like that's what he means. Whenever Jesus talked about faith and believing, it was something deep and unwavering. He's not talking about like I like it or I kind of feel that way or whatever, right? Anything he ever talked about was deep. It was all the way. So when he says believe, he means believe, convicted faith. You cannot lose it. And if you can't see that, then this growth idea is just not for you, and you kind of go back to doing whatever it was you're doing in the first place. Like I said in the first video, if you are not willing to make your why, the why you would want to progress, larger than the why you are in the place you are in the first place, then you might as well just quit and be satisfied where you are, because that would be mentally more healthy for you than to want to do more but never actually do it. And you can watch that video whenever. But regardless, the rain bucket fills up because it has no choice but to fill up. If the rain is persistent in what it's doing, the bucket has to give place. If you're consistent in your life, you're persistent through the obstacles, life has no choice but to give you success. And that's pretty much all it is. And even if you work for an employer, work for yourself, doesn't matter. Employers will see this, and if for no other reason, it benefits them. So that's what I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed that. Give us a like, a subscribe, and a follow. Go to my Twitter at William ____. That's 3 underscores, and James. And that's where most of my content's put out. And yeah, so we love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hey guys, I don't know why I completely made that video about social media growth. The whole idea that is consistency in anything does that, whether it's in your wealth, you're investing, you're, building your body, building your mind, your marriage, your relationship with your kids, your friends, pretty much anything in life. Anything that you want to do, if you're consistent at it, it will yield results, no matter what. Unless, like I said, you're just putting out consistent crap, because that just doesn't help anybody, you nor anyone else. We should always strive, not only just for ourselves. I think Earl Nightingale, plus a whole lot of other people, I'm sure, said that our net worth is directly related to our service to others, something along those lines. Jesus himself said, "Do unto others as you'd have done unto you," and to be kind and to put others ahead of you, in a sense of serving them. But in order for you to be able to serve somebody, to help someone, you have to yourself be a strong person, a wise person, someone who can lead. So it's kind of in there that you need to become someone who can help somebody else. And there's whole other people I could probably quote, but I'm not. So anyways, I just figured I'd throw that in the end of this, because it's kind of like, hey, this is not just Twitter, this is life. And that's kind of where I want to go with what I'm doing. My brand is to help people grow overall, because the principles of growth are applied everywhere equally. It doesn't change no matter what the venue is. So anyways, again, love you guys. See you later.